community, welcome back to another interview on CEO.CA. Today I'm seated with Frazer Bourchier, President and CEO of Mandalay Resources. Frazer, it's been a couple months since we've last seen each other, and there's been some updates that you wanted to update the market with, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel. Yeah, lots has happened. In fact, we're down to the short strokes now, so it's quite exciting. Yeah.
Well, let's jump into your results for second quarter of this year. So just for you guys to know, Mandalay produced 22,500 gold equivalent ounces and reported about $101 million in cash. Production was, though, slightly down compared to the previous quarter. Can you walk us through what drove this and whether this affects your full year guidance?
Short answer, it doesn't affect our guidance. And it's actually right on our internal plan. We had a bit of a dip in Q2 and there's a small one in Q4. But really, that's just part of the mining sequence of where we're going through the ore body in our Australian operation. And in Sweden, it just coincides with the start of the summer season, but all planned, all to plan internally, quarterly, and guidance still on 85,000 to 95,000 ounces, probably right down the middle. So we're pretty happy with it.
Okay. Well, moving on to Bjorkdahl, there are notable exploration results out of that project. Grades up to about 157 grams per ton gold. Exceptional, obviously. So can you provide more details on key discoveries and what they mean for the mine's production profile?
Yeah, look, those are great results, even if it's over 0.3 or 0.6 meters. I mean, that's in the North Zone. That's a recent area below the marble unit, we call it, that we discovered last year. And it's proving great grade and continuous. So the North Zone, excellent. We had other examples around 30, 40, 50 grams a ton in what we call the Central and Main Zone. We sometimes refer to that as the Eastern Extension, also below the marble unit. That's another great area. So those are two areas that we're focusing on at Bjorkdahl, because at Bjorkdahl, it's a 10-year mine life. It's not usually about mine life. It's always about margins. So it's great to get those intercepts. And then we found a lake zone. This is fantastic. This is a skarn. The lake, we've always had the lake zone, but the skarn we did not expect there. About 5-6 years ago, we had a skarn, and that boosted production by 20-25%. So that's excellent. They had a skarn that they tend to be very high grade. So we're pretty excited about that as well.
Well, for Lake Zone, how quickly can a discovery like that be incorporated into your mining plan?
Very quickly. In fact, all of them are all along the main development, whether it's Eastern, skarn, or North. They're kind of all as you go down dip. So they're all pretty close to main development. They're all within the mining license area. You know, those could be in production in a year, at most, year and a half. It really just comes down to getting your underground development in place and then accessible work faces there.
Well, another big piece of news is the merger with Alkane. It's expected to close really soon, so it's imminent, and it's been called a merger of equals. Can you describe for us not only why it's a merger of equals, what makes this a great deal, but also what steps are remaining for this to close?
So let's say close, we expect around August 5th, 6th, or 7th. And your Mandalay shares, my Mandalay shares, everyone's Mandalay shares, you can buy them right up to that day. They automatically transfer 7.875 to be exact, Alkane shares for every single Mandalay share. So that is the timing of it. We've passed all the other hurdles. The Australian government's approved it. The Swedish government's approved it. The interim court order is there. Final court order expected about 3-4 days after the vote, a week from today, and then close a few days after that. As to the logic behind it, I mean, what's exciting, it's hard to believe, Rachel. I would say it was probably a year and a half ago, we were a 150 million market cap company struggling to get to 80,000 ounces. We are now going to be a 1 billion market cap company with 160 to 180,000 ounces. So the logic behind this is scale, size. We still stay in tier 1 jurisdictions, diversity of operations. We have 3 producing mines now and 1 big copper gold project. We have trading liquidity. We will be JDXJ listed now, we being Alkane. It'll be under the Alkane ticker symbol. And we'll also be ASX300 listed eligible. So getting index listing also creates a lot of follow-on buying. So we'll be a much more diversified shareholder register. It used to be pretty concentrated at Mandalay. So for all those reasons, it's really exciting. I mean, the Share price has doubled already up to this point. We expect that to re-rate between 50 to 100% as we continue more organic exploration and as we continue the next step in our journey of M&A. So it's pretty exciting.
And how does management team structure change, if any?
Yeah, great question. I mean, I am going to move on to the board of directors. Our chair will be on the board of directors, and one other member will be on the board of Mandalay. That will reflect the 55-45 ratio of the pro forma company, 55 Mandalay, 45 Alkane. Alkane's chair, Ian Gandel, he'll be on the board, and their managing director, of course, who takes over the executive reins. And then we have a brand new director who's been on the board of Barrick Randgold for quite a while. He resigned from there. He's really excited to be part of a smaller growing company. Andy Quinn, he'll be the independent chair. So that's how we'll go. As far as my executive team, the two that will stay will be the chief operating officer and the VP of exploration. So great continuity with our two existing assets. We bring in their producing asset plus their project. It's pretty exciting. And Nick himself is the managing director, my equivalent, who will take the executive lead. He has a good, strong team himself. Pretty lean, based in Perth. And that's where the operations will be headquartered.
Well, to close the interview, I know you've already alluded to this, but I think it'd be worth reviewing again. You mentioned the potential for a re-rating. So what events will essentially have to happen for this to materialize for us to kind of look out for over the next few months?
Right. So, I mean, the deal will close, let's say, around August 5th to 7th. Let's talk about the JDXJ. That's an index that requires certain qualifications on number of shares traded a month, dollar value per day, market cap, etc. Alkane is already part of that, but now that the market cap will be bigger, twice the size, it's kind of a 50-50 or 55-45 to be exact combination, that will drive a follow-on buying as the JDXJ market cap is bigger. And then the other is, and these all happen in September, the ASX300 on the Australian exchange has similar qualifications or requirements to be there eligible in terms of trading liquidity and market cap. And that rebalancing and look at, so to speak, will happen in September. And everything we've been told looks like there'll be no problem with them being eligible there too. So when you get index listing on those two fronts, those are catalysts that'll drive follow-on buying. In addition to that, the ASX 300 tends to be a very well valued in terms of PNAVs it gives to companies our size. They've come off a little bit in the last 6 weeks, and the TSX has gone up equivalent, but still pretty healthy valuations. So we also foresee a re-rate when we look at our peers based on being dual listed, but on the ASX as well. So, but it'll be traded on both, accessible on both. I'll still be, when I'm not blacked out, buying on the TSX, and our major shareholders are there as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. So that'll drive re-rate separate from the whole growth of continued organic exploration. There'll be press releases coming out this week about Costerfield. So pretty exciting stuff there. And maybe some more M&A. The new board will get together quickly, and we'll give that feedback and news to the shareholders over the coming months.
Frazer, congrats on the growth trajectory and for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me and letting me share the story.
Frazer Bourchier of Mandalay, soon to be Alkane. You can find more about the company on CEO.CA, where investors are talking. Thanks for watching.